What's up guys, Justin here back again, and today we're doing another LEGO Life is Strange custom LEGO set. And today I'm going to be showing you guys a custom LEGO set based off of Life is Strange True Colors. Now, if you're new to the channel, I did some based off the first and second game as well, so if you haven't seen those, make sure to check them out too. But yeah, today we're doing one based off of True Colors, and it's going to be based off of the scene where Alex and Steph are performing on stage. So yeah, the set's based off of that scene. I was originally going to do one based off of the record store, but this scene is like one of my favorites from the game, and I think a lot of people enjoyed it as well, so I thought it'd be the perfect set piece to create into a LEGO set. Now, one thing I just quickly want to mention before I get into this is that there was one thing that happened in Studio before, which is the program that I used to make these sets. There was something that happened that I didn't realize only when I was making this set. I didn't realize it when I was making the other two, but something that I found out is that some bricks that I've used on the set, not all of them actually exist in that specific color that I've used them for, if that makes any sense. For example, there might be like a 1x2 plate with a singular stud on it, and I want to choose like lime green. Now, that brick might not exist in LEGO in real life in that specific color. So I only realized that pretty much after I finished the set. So there's going to be a lot of bricks that don't exist in certain colors, but you know, it doesn't really matter because, like, let's be honest, LEGO's not going to make these into real sets anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But I've probably made the mistake on my other two LEGO sets as well, but as I said, there's like zero chance LEGO's even going to make Life is Strange sets, so it's just an idea, doesn't really matter. But yeah, without further ado, let's just get straight into the LEGO set. Alright guys, here's the set right here, and honestly, I gotta say, I said this with the other builds as well, I really surprised myself with how this one turned out, and this one is definitely the most complicated one that I've built so far, because the Max one was just a corner room set, the Life is Strange 2 one was just of the border wall, but this one is definitely the most complex in terms of like shaping the roof and trying to build like the drum set and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, same thing as before with the other sets, obviously, with that nice black trim going around. This one is the only one where the black trim doesn't go to the back and create a back black wall. Instead, it's just a thin black trim that goes all the way around. That's because for this set, I was originally going to do that, but I thought that the set would look really weird if it didn't have the actual roof that the set piece is supposed to have. So I didn't do that with this one, and I actually added the roof for the stage, and I think it turned out really nicely. So first off, you can see some grass. I could have done it without the grass, but I really wanted to do it with the grass because then I could add the flowers and the speakers, and if you look at the speakers, they actually have custom printing, so that turned out pretty nicely. And you can see some flowers that go up the sides and the top of the roof. That was a lot of trial and error to get right, but I'm really happy with how they turned out in the end. You can see another speaker on the left, which also has custom printing, but it's a different color. And the roof was really hard because there was an original way that I was going to do the roof just using normal slope pieces, but it didn't really look that good. But the way that I did it here, I actually used hinge pieces with plates on them and then added tiles in like the pattern of bricks, and honestly it turned out really nicely. If you look at the side of the build, you can actually see sort of support beams on the corner. It's really hard to see in this photo, but those are actually Lego Technic pieces, and those pieces don't actually exist in real life in brown. So that's sort of what I was talking about with certain bricks not existing in certain colors. But as I said before, since we already know that LEGO's not going to actually make LEGO Life is Strange sets, it doesn't really matter because this is just an idea. So yeah, plus I only realized that until later, so it was a bit too late to change it. So here is a closer look at the stage. Now, I'm sorry if the photo is a little bit dark. I tried to get the lighting right when I was rendering this image, but for some reason they turned out a little bit too dark. I think it's just because it has a roof on it, so sorry about that. But as you can see, a little closer look, I did my best to try and add the wheels that are sort of like support beams of the roof. Those were really tricky to do, but I think they turned out pretty decent. You can see the lights at the top and a big red curtain, and you can also see another speaker on the right there. there at the bottom, and you can see the microphone that Alex sings in this scene, and Steph's drum kit. Now, I think the drum kit turned out a lot better than I expected. I used a tutorial on how to build a Lego drum kit, but I actually made a lot of changes to the final design to make it match what Steph's drum kit actually looks like. So here's a photo of the tutorial drum kit that I based it off of, and then I pretty much changed all of like the symbols to be angled inward, which was more like what Steph's drum kit was like. I'll actually leave a link in the description to that Lego drum set tutorial video because, you know, I want to give credit. But yeah, I actually used a Lego phone piece for the toms there, which honestly turned out pretty cool looking. And as you can see, I used Harry Potter ones for Steph's drumsticks because I didn't know what else to use, and obviously a guitar piece for Alex. Another thing with the stage as well is that I used two different shades of tiles to make more textured floorboards for the stage, which turned out pretty nicely as well. So yeah. And obviously here's the back, not much to say, but here is actually a better look at those support beams of the roof there with the Lego Technic pieces in brown. So yeah, I didn't know what else to do for the hinge pieces, so I used Lego Technic pieces with like a little stud that has like a little beam hanging off of it and like an angle. If I actually wanted to make this a set and get Lego to ship out the pieces, I probably would have come up with a different method for the support beams, but I think it still looks fine because this is probably going to cost a lot even if I do try to get it made anyway. So yeah, there's a better look at the red curtain as well, and obviously you can see here with the black trim that goes all the way around to the back as well. Lastly, here's just a top view. Not really much to say as like the other sets too, but I think the roof turned out really nicely. It was actually a very weird method the way I did the roof. The top part in the middle, it was a very weird method that I used because it was like one little tile and then another little stud plate and then another little tile, because I used the middle stud for the top parts to click into place, which was, it was a very intricate design choice, but honestly it turned out looking really nicely. I didn't want to go with the other roof method that I was going to use, so I'm really pleased with how the roof turned out in the end. Now let's get into the figures. So first off, we have the Alex Chen Lego minifigure. Now this turned out really nicely, and it just looks exactly like Alex, which is what we want, and that hairpiece was literally the only hairpiece that looked anything like her hair, and it just works perfectly. So I'm really happy about that. The face is not custom printed. I was almost going to do a custom printed face if I couldn't find one that looked like Alex, but luckily enough I did find one that looked really close. So yeah, there's Alex's face, and the torso is completely custom printed, all done by scratch. The logo is one of my favorite parts. So the logo on her shirt is completely custom printed, done from scratch. And here's a comparison of the actual logo compared to my recreation. And one thing that you'll notice about my recreation is that the face is actually a Lego face, which is something Lego would definitely do, which is why I wanted to do that. I was originally going to do the face that was actually on it, but I thought a Lego face would look really cool for this build. So yeah, and then obviously you can see the necklace that she's wearing as well. You can see the skirt and the shoes and the guitar. Now I would have done custom printing for the sleeves of the t-shirt with the white stripes, but you can't actually do that in studio, so that's a bit of a shame, but I think it still looks fine anyway. So yeah, there's the Lego Alex figure. Lastly, here's the Lego Steph figure. This one turned out really cool as well. So obviously again, custom printing for the torso. Now this is actually the same base torso that I made up for the Alex one. Well, I actually made the Steph one first, then I made the Alex one. But yeah, it's pretty much the same torso, just a bit of a different shape for the neck area of the shirt. And obviously you've got her necklaces and her tattoo as well. So I think that turned out really nicely as well. And the custom printing, I'm really happy with that. So yeah, and obviously again with the Harry Potter ones for the drumsticks. And for the hair and the beanie, that was actually really difficult because there is no such thing as a Lego piece that has a beanie with hair sticking out of it. So this is actually a bit of photoshopping here. So these are the two images, one with the hair and one with just the beanie. And basically what I did is I cut the beanie out of that photo and put it onto this photo to make it look like it was one piece. And honestly, it looks really nice. So if Lego was to make this a real thing, they would probably just make a beanie piece with hair coming out. I was originally going to put hair printing on a custom face print, but I thought that would look really silly, so I didn't do that, and I just got one photo with a hair piece, one photo with a beanie, and then just merged them together with a bit of photoshopping, and honestly it turned out perfect. So yeah, and the face print is not a custom face print, that's just one in studio because I think it works really well for Steph. So yeah, that's the Lego Steph figure. Now, out of all of the sets so far, this one definitely has the most pieces. I'm pretty sure the Max Caulfield dorm room set, I think that has somewhere over 300 parts. The Life is Strange 2 set has somewhere over 500 parts, and this one has almost 1,000 parts. And I think part of that is how complicated and intricate the roof was to make. So, yeah. Alright guys, well that's going to do it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed this custom LEGO Life is Strange True Colors set. Let me know what your thoughts were down in the comments below. Now I do plan on making another LEGO set which will be based on Life is Strange Double Exposure, which might be the last set that I make. If it's not the last, I might make one based off of Before the Storm as well. I'm not like 100% sure on that one yet because I want to focus on the main games, but after I finish the Double Exposure set, that's when I'll make up my mind. Yeah, other than that, I hope you guys really like the set. Let me know what you thought, and yeah, hope you stick around for the next video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good day.